Hello, Zach. It has been a mighty long while since we last recorded one of these.
It has been a couple of weeks.
Yes, and because we haven't recorded in such a long time, I'm afraid we're going to forget to intro this. So I'm going to go ahead and give us our little intro right here at the beginning this time.
We forget
I
even when we do like 3 episodes at a time. We'll still forget for all three of them, even when we're just doing it
exactly.
normal.
Well, I am Jacob, otherwise known as Nazir TL. You can find me at Nazir TL on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And I am here with my good friend Zach, who goes by Pixelated Trash on the internet. You can find him at YouTube and sometimes on the Fluffy Biscuits Twitch at the Fluffy Biscuits. Occasionally, you can find him tweeting nonsense at our Twitter at the Fluffy Biscuits, as Zach would phrase it.
Exactly. Extra F because the original was taken.
But not to steal all the glory from Zach at the end of this episode with all of our shout-outs, I will go ahead and start our main topic. Zach,
Yes.
I have something grievously unimportant to admit to you.
It's harmfully unimportant.
Well,
So what do you
Zach,
got for me then?
so I'm sure everyone as a child has like fond memories of going like on a summer evening with their parent to get a small pint of ice cream. One of those
I
small little
guess. Yeah.
containers. Well, when I was a child, I had forgotten all about this, but I had sorbet one time, right? Sorbet
hmm
is dairy-free ice cream, essentially. It's like more of a puree of like fruit and shit.
Yeah.
And I remember eating it, and I was like, "Why isn't all ice cream like this? This is so good." And then that was the only time I had it. This is like elementary school, so this is years ago. Well, I had it the other day, and
hmm
I realized I fucking hate regular ice cream. Like vanilla ice cream is not thebomb.com. Not anymore.
I feel that though.
There's this, it was on sale, and that's the only reason we bought it because it's like $5 like a pint or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like a company called Talente or Talenti.
Okay.
And they had
Oh yeah, yeah,
raspberry
yeah. I know what you're talking
sorbet.
about. Yeah, they have like a little swirl kind of in their logo. It's like we're in
Yeah,
the middle of it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that stuff is literal crack.
Oh, it's great. I used to buy that a lot back when I was younger.
Yeah, I literally took one like tiny spoonful of it, and I was like, "Why isn't all ice cream like this?" I was like, "What is the fucking matter with like why is Big Dairy all up in my ice cream?" I know cream's in the fucking name, but I don't want that shit anymore.
I'm a big fan of sherbet.
Sherbet's
Which
okay.
yeah, like the fruity ice kind of ice cream thing. But there is
Yeah,
dairy in sherbet, but it's you can't really tell. My favorite kind of frozen thing is Italian ice or like shaved ice, snow cones. I'm huge onto all that. That's my favorite kind of frozen food. As Jacob has to text and doesn't understand. It's been so long since we've recorded. Jacob forgot we were here. Or did he freeze?
no, I'm
No, he
sorry.
didn't freeze.
Let's see. I also figured out that maraschino cherries are just pickled cherries.
Well, they're
And
candied, but yeah, yeah, like they're candy pickled. Yeah,
yeah, they're just like dumped in vats of sugar.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of disgusting, actually.
It is pretty gross when you really think about it, but fuck, they're pretty good. I wouldn't just sit there and crush a jar of them like I would something like olives, but I do fuck with maraschino cherries. Although I like again, if you get the only problem is like fresh cherries have like a big ass seed in them, so it's like because I'm a huge fan of cherries, but they have like a big ass seed in the middle, so it's like if you're eating one right off the stem, you got to kind of like bite around it and stuff.
Um,
Jacob.
what? What are you doing? Why are you doing that to me? Listen. This is an important message. This is an important message.
It's not. I guarantee it's some kind of group chat shit.
Shut the fuck up. It was not a group chat, but it was equally unimportant. I just lied to get it through. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get Zach to play DayZ with me, if anyone wants to know that. But he's been getting away from me.
It's not that I don't want to play it. It's that I don't own it. I don't have the money for it right
Well, then go fucking rob a bank, goddamn it.
That would be the shittiest reason to rob a bank. That's like, I don't know. That'd be like robbing a pizza delivery guy specifically for the breadsticks or something. It'd be like...
Why'd you rob the bank, sir? I want to play an 8-year-old fucking game and I don't own it.
It's like, well, you did only steal $40. I guess this is still a misdemeanor. But... Oh, speaking of games, though, I will tell you what I've been playing, and it hasn't received the greatest critical response. But holy shit, I am in love with Marvel's Midnight Suns. It's made by Firaxis Games, the people that make XCOM, and it's like a mix between the turn-based kind of strategy of XCOM with like a deck builder. Yeah. But then when you're not in the missions, the whole point is you build up this base, like this abbey that you live in, and you make friends with all the people that are your followers. My biggest complaint about it, okay, this requires a little bit of backstory, but so let me say this first, and then I'm going to explain why. My biggest complaint about it is that there's DLC for it for my favorite Marvel character of all time. And you can't get it on PS4, which is where I'm playing it. It's exclusive to PS5 and PC. Damn. And I think that's fucking ridiculous. But you could get fucking Morbius. Now, here's the thing. The movie's a meme. The movie's terrible. Morbius is unironically, though, my actual favorite Marvel character. His whole story and arc is so fucking cool. And, Spider-Man saves him with his blood a couple times. It's wild. He's got a whole fucking cool-ass, arc and stuff. That movie is absolutely atrocious, but Morbius is unironically my favorite Marvel character. Blade's
I didn't expect that to be the game that you really enjoyed.
Yeah, I've put 45 hours into it so far. I'm real into it.
There's another game that is Lethal Company-esque called Content Warning.
I think I saw somebody play that on YouTube.
I heard its replay value isn't that good.
I mean, Lethal Company isn't really when you think about it.
Well, Lethal Company actually got some updates recently.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm thinking about getting all the boys back together to play it.
That's fair.
But Content Warning, so you know how in Lethal Company there's not the chance to encounter every single monster or whatever?
Yeah.
You get a set few. Apparently in Content Warning, the way it's laid out, I haven't seen any gameplay, this is just what I've heard from my friends, is the way it's laid out is it's almost meant for you the longer you play, the different ones you encounter, so it's kind of meant for you to meet all of them, and that's why it has a low replayability.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen somebody play this. It might have been Charborg, or it might have been Cinnamon Toast Kid or somebody, but I saw somebody play this.
Huh.
It does look interesting, though. I think it looks cool.
Yeah. I know, I don't remember. Oh, that's what I was going to say, because you like Fallout. You know the Fallout TV show?
Oh, I've already watched it.
Oh, you did?
Yep. I fucking love it. And also, my favorite
everyone's
actor is in it.
Upset because they took out the canon of Fallout New Vegas. And they're the person who makes Fallout just fucking hates New Vegas because they're so mad that someone other than Bethesda made a better Fallout game.
Which is funny because Bethesda didn't even make the first two Fallouts.
Yeah.
That was that was Black Isle Studios, now known as In Exile Games.
In Exile.
They make Wasteland now, which is their version. Because the first two Fallouts are isometric RPGs.
What else do
Jacob.
you have? I have a lot.
Jacob's researching. You can hit me with something.
Okay, do you like Dragon's Dogma?
Yes, I played. Actually, I've recently beat Dark Arisen again, and I have not seen anything about 2 though.
Two seems good. Like I know for weeks before it came out, everyone was just sitting in like the character creator making all these different
Yeah.
characters based on like actual like
Yeah.
fantasy stuff. I thought that was really cool. I'm tempted to get it, but I'm not willing to pay a $70 price tag.
Yeah. See, I'm not either. That's one of those games where it's like, once I like maybe get a PS5, I'll get it on sale on PlayStation Network for like $10 maybe when it like years from now. But
Yeah,
in terms of it was not an exciting opening for, like, it wasn't something I was looking forward to. There are games of course that I do, but that was not one of the games I was most looking forward to. I thought it was cool they made a sequel because I remember playing the original. My favorite part of the original, of course, as you probably know, is that you can pick everybody up and just throw them.
yeah.
So and you can like climb enemies. So it's like you can literally, like, when you're fighting wolves, you can just pick them up and hurl them off a cliff and just be like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. In fact, some of my favorite YouTubers, the McElroy brothers, they did a series in their show Monster Factory where they made All-Star Hall of Fame pitcher Randy Johnson, and then they made a very tiny pawn named Pan Pan that they could just throw at everybody.
The fuck?
It's pretty great. Because you make your
I've
character and then you make a pawn, and the pawn's like your little follower. And if you make them very small and compact, that lowers their weight, and so they're very easily throwable. They're a very
There was
projectile-based human.
also a rumor that the Dead Space 2 remake was canceled, but then
Yes, I
EA
heard
was
that.
like, "No, like that's fake. That's fake news."
I know that Dead Space 1, while being... I know that, like, it's a good game and stuff. Like, the remake, I mean. I know that it's a good game and all. I know, too, though, that it did undersell compared to what they thought.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
Dead
I haven't
Space
heard
2 is the
anything
best
bad
of the
about it.
trilogy.
In my opinion, you're not wrong. I think Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 1 in that order, and then Dead Space 3 is like a forgotten stepchild.
Yeah, like I like Dead Space 3, but I mainly like it because I can do it co-op. I
Yeah, I
like
was
the
gonna say
co-op
that's
aspect.
that to me, horror games like that are fun co-op, but usually once they become co-op, it kind of eliminates a lot of the horror for me. Like, for instance, you and I, when we played Lethal Company, I got really spooked, right? Because there's no way to defend yourself, or at least unmodded, you know what I mean? There's no way to like really defend yourself, and you're always kind of like having to look and run, right? But when you take a game like Dead Space and then you make it co-op with like your guns and stuff, then it's just kind of like a two-man army, and it completely changes it. I feel the same way about Fear. I don't know if you've ever played any of the Fear games,
Nah,
but
I've
Fear
not played any
3
of your games.
specifically had a co-op mode, and the co-op mode was awesome because the main guy, the main character, was player 1, and then player 2 was his brother, and his brother actually couldn't do anything. He was like a spectral form, and you would like he could like possess like objects and people and stuff, and like use their bodies as like a character. You know what I mean? And then like whenever that character died, he would just leave the body, and then you could get a new body. So, but again, it like eliminated most of the horror outside of like jump scares and stuff.
There's actually funny enough that you said Fear because I'm just on PC
Because I have a
Gamer.
lot of it. Yeah, I know.
No, I'm on PC Gamer trying to remember all the gaming news that's happened recently because it's kind of been a lot. And there's actually a new Hunt Showdown kind of extraction shooter that's
Hmm.
sci-fi that feels a lot like Fear. Is what this
I feel like
article
I've
sounds
heard of
like.
it. What's it called?
Bu- 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 uh, Beautiful Lights
Did you say
influences. I
beautiful
can't
ass?
find. No, it's a Beautiful Lights. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm trying to find. It's. I think it's. I think it's just called Beautiful Light. I don't know.
oh,
Deep Worlds, maybe.
huh. Never mind.
Usually they
That
have it
haven't
at the
heard.
top. They just didn't say the name at the top.
Well, that's fair.
They also spelled artifact wrong in this.
You can spell it with an E or an I in the middle.
Well, they spelled it the communist way. Let's see. Of course, people are always talking about the Elder Scrolls and when it's going to come out. Never. Because they haven't released anything cool in years. Oh my god, people are talking about the Destiny 2. They're like,
Yeah.
new updates kind of shit. That might mean
Was
that,
it was it an update or an expansion? Do you
I
know?
don't know. They're just saying there wasn't a lot of effort put into it, so they think Destiny 3 is around the corner, and I'm like, please, just let it die. Destiny is not that good of a game.
Here's the thing. Destiny's not that good of a game. It is mindlessly fun, if that makes sense, in kind of like a Diablo kind of way. It's like there's there's a lot of lore and story there, but also if you don't care, you can just kind of just shoot things for a while and have fun. You know what I mean? I appreciate games like that. It's like I mostly like games where I'm constantly building up to something, but I definitely like games like Destiny at times where it's like you join a level, you and three guys kill a bunch of people, and then you're done, and then you get cool stuff.
Helldivers has a lot of stuff that's been coming out. Nice to see that one getting updates because everyone loves it.
I still haven't
Except
played
you.
it, probably won't play it, but I have heard wonderful things about it. I've watched it been played. I could tell I wouldn't like playing it, but
Yeah.
it looks really cool.
I only play it sometimes.
That's fair.
I don't know what it is about it, but again, I think it's just PvE. I'm not too big of PvE.
Yeah.
That's another good thing about the DayZ server is half of it is like cut in half
Mm-hmm.
to where like all of the coast is pretty much PvE, and then once you get deep inland, that's where PvP starts.
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah, I
sort
feel
of,
that.
you
So
know,
it's kind of like RuneScape.
yeah. Yes, sir. We've been playing Call of Duty a lot recently, and
That's fair.
oh my god, I love it. I
I can't tell you
played
the last time I played a Call of Duty game.
okay. The
Which
newest
one
Call
are
of
y'all
Duty,
playing?
the new MW3 is bad. It's just dog shit. The new
Fair.
MW2 is also bad. It's dog shit.
I have them on my PlayStation, but I've never touched them.
We're playing Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, I gotcha.
I've always enjoyed Call of Duty multiplayer, and so is Josh. Josh really enjoys it as well. Noah has been playing with us, but he only got it for zombies,
Yeah.
and no offense against Noah, but he is dog shit at like any game that requires you going against another person.
Yeah, same.
But I actually convinced him to play multiplayer one night, even though he hates Call of Duty multiplayer. And so in Call of Duty, you'd expect the best loadout for most people to be some sort of gun, like just
I
in
mean,
general, because it's Call
yeah,
of Duty.
that seems pretty important. Yeah.
I am top of the leaderboard every game, only using a tomahawk and a knife.
That's fair.
Like I'm literally, I think you need like 100 kills in team deathmatch to win,
Hmm.
and I have like a third of the kills, like on our team. Like I'll have
Well, that's
like
fair.
30 to 40 each game with just running around, just fucking knifing people and throwing a tomahawk at them.
I've never been big on Call of Duty. I've always loved Battlefield though. I
Battlefield's
don't
great.
like some of the new Battlefields haven't been great. Specifically, Hardline was absolutely terrible. But Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 are my two favorites. Like, not Battlefield 1 as in the original, but Battlefield 1 as in the World War one they made recently. But there's also, oh, speaking of shooters like that, there's a great fucking World War One series of shooters. They're all made by the same company, and they all take place in different theaters of war during World War One, right?
Yeah.
And they're just named after the battle or the area that the battle took place in specifically. So like for instance, even though they have multiple maps and like multiple modes and everything, the first one's called Verdun, and then the second one's called Tannenberg, and then I don't know what the third one's called, but it takes place in the Italian theater. But
Sicily.
th- those games have been fucking fantastic. I've played Verdun a good bit. They're like they're real. I'm not gonna call them simple, but they're real like historically accurate. So like you don't have a whole lot of like automatic weaponry or anything because it's World War One. But it's like there's so many different factions and stuff, like all these different groups that fought in the wars, and then like what their actual like historical loadouts were and stuff. It's just a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of it.
Let's see. I know. I don't know if we talked about this, but this isn't like new. But Wizards of the Coast, the people that deal with like Magic the Gathering and D&D,
Yeah.
a few months ago they laid off a bunch of the people that on the like in the D&D department.
Yeah. I had not heard
Just
about that.
they just laid them off, and half of those people, like a good portion of them, all worked on Baldur's Gate 3, which is like last year's, best game, like won all these awards.
Yeah.
Just like all the stuff, and they let them go. The game was actually made by Larian Studios, but of course they worked with the people of D&D to get all the lore, stuff
Yeah.
like that, the story. This is really cool. That really cool like teamwork, and also with Larian Studios, like a month ago, sometime probably right when we last recorded or in between now and then, they released that they're not going to be updating the game anymore, as in like they're not going to like add expansions or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Basically because they don't want to work with a company that lays off all of their best employees.
Yeah. Well, they had said previously, like I think up to a month ago, that they didn't plan on making any more. Like their next creation would be like an original IP.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, like the Baldur's Gate 3 game was usually
Yeah.
like they were going to add, or they had said in the past they were going to add the other D&D source books, which is basically
Oh,
like
I
more
see.
things you could play as and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff they could still add, but they were like, nah, they fired literally pretty much everyone we worked with to make this game,
Yeah.
even though those people made them a ton of money. Like even if they were great employees apparently, like to work with. And I think Larian Studios even said like some of them could, if they needed a job, could come work for them, like for
That's fair.
writers and stuff like that. And they're like, we don't want to work with that company because that's dumb as shit. And so the last thing they added that was supposed to be like a big update was they added a bunch of evil endings to Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, appropriate things to
That's
add when
fair.
you're like saying deuce, I'm out, I'm not updating any cool shit in this game anymore.
So, in the time since we have spoken, I have gotten my hands on and finally played Starfield. Now, before you worry about the fact that I've been telling you I can't afford Daisy, I did not buy it. But I got my hands on it and played it. I made a character, which was fun. I played about an hour and a half, and I was so fucking bored. Holy shit,
Yeah,
that
that
game is a
checks out.
nothing burger. It is just, it feels like, okay, I'm trying to just, for anybody out there who might not have played Starfield yet, and I did not give it a fair shake, don't get me wrong. I'd been watching videos of it being played. I knew it was going to be kind of dull. I just wanted to see how it felt to play. Like, I wanted to feel like, I was playing the games that I look at, and I'm like, that looks pretty boring, and then I play it myself, and I'm like, oh, when I'm in control, it's a little, it's more engaging, it's different. But the best way I could describe it is take Fallout, right? Like Fallout 4, whichever your favorite of the three that Bethesda made. Take that Fallout, make it really gray, and then put it in space, and then have the people who made No Man's Sky come in and take all the updates they've put into No Man's Sky out, and let them make the world.
Yeah.
It's like it is pure nothing. It is just absolute nothing. It's wild. It's like I would probably give it like a 5.5 out of 10 because it's not the worst game I've ever played by any means, but it's like the character customization was basically the most fun I had in it.
Yeah, that game was severely overhyped. And every time it gets brought up, I'm just like, if they wanted a better Starfield, they would have gotten Star Citizen, and it's not even out yet. Like, fully, you know?
Yeah. I just wanted a cool Bethesda adventure in space, you know what I mean? As jank as their games are, I do genuinely enjoy basically every Bethesda game I've played. I've played all the Elder Scrolls games, dating back to the very first one, Arena. I had that on a DOS computer when I was young. And then I played all the Fallouts they've made. I mean, I played the other Fallouts too, but I played all the Fallouts Bethesda made. I liked that game they made. I think it was Prey. Maybe they just published it, but that was way back in like 2006. The remake, I don't think they had anything. Maybe I'm backwards on that. But either way, I enjoyed both the Prey games. But let's see, what else have they really made? Actually, now that I think about it, not too much. I actually enjoy the Elder Scrolls Online for what it is, and I'm a big fan of Fallout 76. So, I mean, in general, I consider myself not a fanboy by any means, because I wouldn't stand up for them, but I consider myself a pretty big supporter of Bethesda's stuff, and for Starfield just fall so flat for me was just such like a moment.
I really enjoy Elder Scrolls, but, you know, that's kind of where I sit.
Yeah.
Something I don't think either of us have a big interest in, but I do want to touch on it, is because I think it's funny, and there's a story behind it, right? Because...
Touch on me, Jacob, and tell me your story.
No. So, you know, Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson, right?
I'd heard that. I didn't know if it was legit or not.
It is. It's going to be streamed on Netflix.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, but continue.
Okay. So, the thing is that a lot of these YouTubers, like, everyone's talking about it. That's the main thing that I want to point out. Everyone is talking about it because it is absurd.
Yeah.
And it's either absurd to the point where people are like, Mike Tyson's going to beat the shit out of Jake Paul. Like, just end of story. He's going to win. Or everyone's like, if Jake Paul wins, he cheated. That's that's what they're saying. Basically, like, back and forth. Or that, like, if Jake Paul wins, it's because Mike Tyson's old. And I'm like, here's the thing. They've already won. The fact that everyone is talking about it, they've already won. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't think either of them care who wins. They just want that money.
Yeah, it's like anything you see from both of them, I'm very positive that there has been like a talk behind closed doors where they're just like, Mike Tyson's like, I'm going to show them that, you know, I still got it with my training footage, and Jake Paul's probably going to be like, oh, I'm scared, you know, because Mike Tyson's a fucking menace. Because every video that comes out, it's like, Jake Paul doesn't look that strong. He's, like, being portrayed as the heavy underdog. But everyone, like, it was on Fox News the other night. And I was like, how the fuck? I walked in there in the kitchen the other night to my dad talking to one of his friends on the phone, and they were talking about it. And I was like, I have never once in my life heard my dad talk anything about boxing or any sort of sport at all. And he's over there telling me why Mike Tyson's going to win. I'm like, I really don't care. Because he's like, these YouTubers don't know what they're doing anymore. They're trying to get in fights with the big boys. And I'm like, here's the thing. I don't think they give a fuck if they win. They're just in there for the money. It's like they've already won.
Let me propose the thought here.
Yeah.
And I want to clarify what I'm saying, but the concept of Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson is wild to me because how old is Mike Tyson? Like, don't get me wrong, right?
Mike Tyson's 57 years old.
Okay. If I walked up to Mike Tyson, he would break me in half. In no way am I saying he is not a strong man.
Yeah.
there you lose. When's the last time he even fucking fought? It's like you lose a lot of that, I gotta imagine, as you age and stuff. And I kind of worry it's just gonna be like watching a big bruiser just kind of get like just block and just be like, all right, all right, all right, and then you know what I mean?
I feel like fighting is one of those things kind of like riding a bike. You know? It's like Mike Tyson,
No, it's not
if
that.
he
I'm saying
was
like just
old, as
physically,
in.
like
Well, now listen, I feel like if Mike Tyson was old to where like he needed handicaps like in his daily life, it would be too old. But if you look at him, he's still in
yeah.
shape. He just
No, I
hasn't
know.
been like training. So I think it's
Yeah.
fine.
Because I think of it kind of like this. It's like, how old's Dan Marino now? He's like 68, I
I don't know
think.
who that
Maybe
is.
69. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. If I walked out with Dan Marino, yes, he could definitely throw a football way better than I can. Still, probably. But I could probably beat him in a foot race. And it's like, that's what I kind of wonder, is if it's like, if like maybe Mike Tyson might be a little just kind of older for it. I mean, I'm excited for it, I guess. I don't really give a shit, to be bluntly honest, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, who was it that fought Conor McGregor a few years ago? Do you know
was
what I'm
that
talking about?
was that Mike?
Conor
Was that Mike Tyson too?
McGregor. No, it was not Mike Tyson.
Was it Kimbo Slice?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Brock
Mike
Lesnar, maybe?
Tyson.
No, they're massively different weight
Floyd
classes.
Mayweather.
Oh yeah, there you go.
How old is Floyd Mayweather?
I think he's like 42, maybe. If that, he's not that old.
He's 47.
Oh Jesus, he is old. Well, not old, but
Yeah. So there's not much of like an age difference there between Conor
Yeah.
McGregor and him, but at the same time, he's still about as old as Mike Tyson. Like, of course, Mike Tyson's older, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty
how
sure
old is
Floyd.
Jake Paul? Is he? He's in his 30s by
had-
now, isn't he?
He has to be in his 20s. There's no way he's in his 30s. He's 27.
Jesus, he started young.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because it's like
Also,
all
wait,
these
one last
YouTubers
little
are just
thing I want to
making
ask
money
about
from this.
actually. What? I've seen Jake Paul. I've seen Mike Tyson. How are they in the same weight class?
I don't
I
think
would
it
imagine-
matters.
I guess that's fair. I was gonna say, I'd imagine Mike Tyson kind of has a little bit of a, be like when Aaron Hansen got the shit kicked out of him by the Epic Mealtime guy.
Well, also let's see here. Mike Tyson, I don't think is that tall.
Oh, I thought he was. I thought he was like 6'4".
Mike Tyson is 5'10". Jake Paul is
Jesus.
6'2",
Oh, so Jake Paul's
which
actually
could
bigger,
make
yeah.
up for like weight difference. Mike Tyson's also around 220 pounds, but that's like probably based on what he used to weigh in at.
Yeah. I'm a short boy. I'm 5'8".
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike
you are
Tyson.
short. Anyway, moving on.
Mike Tyson's my height pretty much. No, Jake Paul.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah,
How
they're
tall
not.
is the Brokeback Mountain guy?
They're not that far apart. Tyson weighed 20 more pounds than him,
That's fair.
so I always thought it was funny how Jake Paul and Logan Paul got big because they got big off of Vine.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is too, like, it's wild to me how hard they have like just pushed to not get like completely shunned from the internet. Like they've both had so many controversies and stuff to the point where it's like, I wonder how much money their PR team makes.
Yeah, well, they definitely have had to pivot because originally, Logan, like I didn't
Made
hear
that
much about Jake
video.
Paul, but Logan Paul I had seen before because I saw him in like a music video at one point. But then I saw his like channel. And while like I never really watched him, occasionally it'd pop up and I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, what's this all about? Because this, it looks interesting. And it's just over the top shenanigans, but they definitely grew each other's channels between like a fake feud between each other.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I
definitely
remember
how
all that.
they grew, and I thought that was interesting. Um, and then of course, the Japan video about the forest.
Yeah.
That's what made Logan Paul pivot. Because I think he was doing daily vlogs, and then when that happened, he took like a 3-month break, and then he went to like occasional vlogs. Um,
Do they actually like? Okay, now of course, now that they have money, they're making shit. But when they had their channels, did they actually do anything like, or was it all just like lifestyle shit?
I wouldn't say lifestyle. And the reason why I wouldn't say that is because when I say over the top, some of it was definitely like not just part of their life. They definitely went out of their way to get it done.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know Logan Paul pivoted to,
Making
of course,
sports drinks.
well, yeah, he did that, but also he pivoted to boxing and stuff like
Yeah.
Jake Paul. Like they both seem to pivot to that, but I was curious to see if he ever kept making vlogs, and it seems like he did actually.
Because Jake Paul made that. I remember not too long ago, Jake Paul made that cringe ass collective. What is it called? Team 10, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was during.
That was fucking cringe as shit. And I remember they used to do like live concerts where like they didn't sing. It just like played their music videos in the background while they jumped around on stage.
That's funny. Funny enough, Prime. I find it amazing that my
I haven't
friends are
tried it
all
though.
like, because they don't. It's I don't know. They definitely are not on Jake Paul's side
Yeah.
with
Like not fans
the
of
Mike
his.
Tyson, but
Oh,
they
gotcha.
100% enjoy Prime because I walk in there and I see
Well, I thought
Prime and
Prime was
I
Logan Paul, not
immediately.
Jake Paul.
I'm pretty sure it's all of them
Oh, I
because
thought it was just Logan
KSI,
Paul.
like
Oh,
Logan
hell.
Paul's first big thing was fighting KSI, and then but they both like they got this fake feud between each other. Like I'm gonna beat you up in the ring, and then immediately
Yeah.
after they both had Prime, like they started it together. But Jake Paul might also be in it. Does Jake Paul own Prime? I don't know. It might just be. Okay, no. So Logan Paul and KSI apparently only own 20% of Prime, and Jake Paul gets hired out by like Celsius, apparently.
Yeah, the
So
other another energy drink.
yeah,
But yeah. So I don't know. I haven't had Prime. I don't. Frankly, the truth of the matter is, I think we peaked at Powerade, Gatorade, whichever you prefer. You know what I mean?
Gatorade, Powerade's good, but Gatorade classic.
That's my thing. Is like there's so many like hydration drinks now, like Body Armor and now Prime and just everything under the moon. And it's like, oh, speaking of, this is a weird observation. Have you noticed that everywhere under the sun is partnering with Cinnabon?
Yeah,
So Pizza Hut now has Cinnabon cinnamon breadsticks. Subway now has a foot-long Cinnabon churro. Yeah.
excuse the fuck out of me.
Oh,
What?
have you not heard of the sidekicks?
No.
Oh, Google Subway sidekicks. There's 3. You can get a foot long of any of them. You get a foot long Auntie Anne's pretzel. You can get a foot long churro, or you can get a foot long cookie.
Okay, chill the fuck out because that pretzel probably goes hard.
Oh, I bet it does. And it comes with mustard dip it in, and that's ace.
That cookie probably also goes hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're terrible. I'm saying, and now Wendy's has a fucking Cinnabon dessert.
Cinnabon's just fucking whoring out to all the fast food chains. I mean, it's
They're
a good
like,
play.
please remember, we're not just in airports.
Yeah, I mean, you only ever see them in malls and in airports, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, malls are kind of dying out.
Yeah.
At least American malls are, because the overseas malls, oh my god, they're fucking they go hard. Like
No,
I've
that's
seen
fair.
malls in like Dubai that have a whole ass like aquarium with sharks in it, and then
Yeah.
that's of course that's like going hardcore. You don't gotta have all that, but traveling to bigger cities across overseas from America, they still have cooler malls than here.
Oh yeah.
It's like what are we doing?
What's your favorite mall food? Like, if you're at a mall and you see the food court, what's the one thing you're hoping's there?
I don't normally get anything from the mall, and
Oh,
I've only
damn it.
been to a mall occasionally, but it would probably be a pretzel.
Audience. Mine, and this is terrible, is either Jollibee or Sparrow.
The
Either of
fuck is
them.
Sparrow?
They sell singular slices of pizzas, and they come
Oh,
in like a little pizza-shaped box. But Jollibee's is a Filipino
I know. I
fast
know
food
what
place that
Jollibee's
does.
is.
Yeah.
They do like
They make
hot dogs and their spaghetti.
Yes, I fucking God, I love hot dogs. Okay, there's this brand of fast food, or not fast food, sorry, brand of frozen food called Fast Bites that you can mainly really find at like Family Dollar or Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And for $1, they had these frozen chili cheese dogs, and holy shit, they were the nastiest things ever, and I could eat them all day, every day. Every time I go to the gas station, I have to ask myself, like, I told my girlfriend, if our gas station was nice enough that it had, like, the clam shells for holding hot dogs, right? Ours just has, like, the little tray, like, what you would get, like, fries in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, yeah, like a little, like, boat almost. But if I had, like, a clamshell where I could close it and take that shit home, I would fucking eat gas station hot dogs all day, every day. I fucking love hot dogs so goddamn much.
I'm sure they have some sort of wrapper to just wrap it in so you can take it home.
They don't. They don't have anything. I've tried.
They don't bring your own.
Like,
Bring a fucking
like,
sandwich
like,
box.
imagine when you
that
go
you
to you go to like a fast food place and you're eating there, right? And they bring out
Yeah.
your fries and like the little
I
picnic
know what you're
blanket
talking about.
colored. Yeah, that's exactly what they have. So it's like if I want to try to test that sitting in the passenger seat while it's covered in chili, just have to
Get you
close
one of
my
those
ears.
sandwich containers, bruh. Take that shit home. Bring some
Oh, that's
Tupperware.
fair. I guess that's fair. I
Get
guess I
you
could take
get
my
you
own
one of the
Tupperware.
giant Tupperwares. You just go fill that up. Fill that up and take it home for the week.
Just it's like, how much relish do you need? All of it.
Just go ahead and fill this tiny Tupperware with all the sides.
They're all got to get mixed together on the hot dog anyway, so you can dump them all in there together.
Yeah. You just come
Oh,
home with a
God.
giant Tupperware of just hot dogs and all like the toppings in there. It's just mush. And you just eat it with like a fucking spoon out of the
Okay.
Tupperware container.
Okay. Ironic. Let me tell you a story.
Oh god.
This isn't gross or anything, but one time I was gonna make tacos for me and Mallory to have for dinner,
Taco Tuesday.
and I cooked like a pound of ground beef or so, seasoned it all up good, threw it into a Tupperware for us to serve it out of, right? She didn't want any. She had already eaten at work, so I said, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll just eat this myself then." So I just emptied like a bag of lettuce into it and a bunch of like pico de gallo and all the like hot sauce and stuff just right into the fucking bowl and just ate it with the fork. It's like, well, I guess this is just mine now. This is my pound of ground beef.
That's nice. Okay. Did I don't know if I told this on the podcast. I might have told you. But
Maybe.
for like you can go like to Walmart and you can go to the food court.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean like the deli?
Kinda.
Or do you mean
Sometimes
actual...
you can. They're not like food court like a mall would have, but I guess deli. But they'll still sell like you can get like chicken wings or something there. And
Yeah,
eat it.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My bad.
Well, I
I
have
thought
two
you were like
stories,
talking about
actually.
going into a Walmart. There's being like a bunch of fast food places, and I was like, "The hell kind of Walmart you got up there?"
I have two stories.
Go
First
ahead.
one, graduation. I didn't want a graduation
Yay.
party. I got one. But they got a bunch of they got like one of the giant trays of the popcorn chicken
Oh
from
wait, you finally
Walmart.
had your graduate. My God, guys, Jacob finally graduated high school. He didn't even tell me.
This is from 7 years ago. Shut the fuck up. Um, but I go over there.
It was the math that
Um,
really got him.
when it was done, apparently not. There was a lot of people there, but no one wanted the chicken nuggets. So I just had
Hmm.
giant plastic bags of these chicken nuggets. Bro, I brought them because I was living somewhere else at the time.
Fair.
So I go back. It's with other family members. I'm sitting over there, and
Wait, hold on. A bag, like a Ziploc bag?
two big ones, fucking this big, just filled. Because it's one of those giant trays. It's like a 30.
Like a catering tray.
Yeah, like a catering
Yeah.
tray.
Yeah.
It was like 300 popcorn
Yeah, I
chicken
know what
nuggets.
you
It was
mean.
crazy. And so I had most of it. Like, they just gave me most of it because they were like, well, you're probably going to eat it. And I'm like, I will eat this all. Is my camera freezing? This is crazy.
Ah, you're fine. Your camera's been fucking up the whole time. I've just been ignoring it.
Damn, that's fucked up. I'll fix it after this. But I take it home, and my aunt is just like, that's a lot of chicken nuggets. You going to share? And I'm like, fucking no. She's like, what? And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I'm a fat boy, this shit. This is going to be gone within a day or two. And she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then she'd see me. I walked up there in the middle of the night because, I'm a night owl. Opposed to how I am right now because I work out every day. My sleep schedule is kind of, even if I go to sleep at 5 a.m., I wake up at 7 a.m. normally.
I feel ya.
It is because I'm just used to working out. But back then, no. No, I'd wake up at 6 p.m. But my
I feel
aunt
that.
saw she was up getting ready for work, and she just sees me in the pitch black kitchen, fridge open, the light just blaring on me, with a Ziploc bag of cold chicken nuggets, just eating them at 5 a.m. Just she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Just vibing." I'm going to the basement. Get out of my way. Just, just eating cold chicken nuggets.
I'll say this. That's a very understandable story for an 18-year-old. So let me tell you a story as a 30-year-old that happened recently. That
One
oh
second,
yeah,
I
two
just want
stories.
to.
My bad.
This is that other one. As a kid, my grandma used to work as a cake baker or whatever in Walmart. She baked cakes.
She was the cake lady.
The cake lady. But oh my god, my camera's oh, this is crazy. We're
I can
going
see.
crazy
Oh
right
God.
now.
Oh, he's become Cerberus.
Maybe I can line it up. Okay. All right.
Oh, you're almost there. Yep.
Fuck. Okay, anyway.
I wonder if it'll break again if we can just get 12 of your face just going.
No, it only
Oh,
does
it
this
fixed.
sometimes.
Oh no, I was back there.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be back. I'm
It's
gonna have
really
to
funny.
reset the camera.
Y'all can't see it, I don't think, in the recording.
No, they'll be able to
but-
see it in the recording.
Oh, okay, that's great. Because for me, it's I get an uncanny valley because sometimes you line up so well. I'm like, oh, it's fixed. You're good. And then you move, and I'm like, oh, God. Half of Jacob
for
disappeared.
Spotify listeners, my camera, half the sensor froze. But anyway, whenever my mom would take me in to Walmart, she'd be in the clothes aisle, and you know how big Walmart is. But I would
Yeah.
just Homer Simpson into the bush, just disappear and reappear, and I'd have one of those giant cookies. And she's like, "Where the fuck did you get that?" And I'm like, "Grandma gave it to me." She'd be like, "How'd you get over there so fast?" I was like, "I ran."
Me being a little shitlord, when I was at Walmart like that, I would disappear, but it was because I was hiding in the closed racks.
I am rigmaroling my camera while we speak. Okay, tell
For
your.
those on Spotify can't see this, but watching on YouTube, it's something. He kind of looks like, with the mustache and stuff, he looks like Wilfred Brimley. It looks like you caught a wild Wilfred Brimley. Like, I just showed up and was like, say cheese, and he's like, oh, diabetes. I guess I'll count us out since we've been going about almost an hour, and we.
Why don't you go ahead and tell your story?
I'll tell my story. Yes, you're talking about that. Well, a couple of months ago, Mallory came down at like 2 a.m. to get water, and she thought I was outside smoking, and I was actually inside at the fridge with it wide open with a spoon and all the bologna out, and I was just picking up pieces of bologna, taking the little wrap part off, then dolloping mayonnaise in the middle and just eating it like a taco.
And you're a fucking grown up.
She was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm hungry. Should I make a sandwich? I was like, I don't want bread. I just want loney. I just want my processed loney. All right. Well, this is great, but thank you all so much for watching. We have some technical difficulties to work out, so we'll cut this one a couple of minutes short. Not too bad. But thank you all so much for watching. If you watch this on YouTube, remember to leave us a like and subscribe. If you watch this on Spotify, remember to give us a 5-star. If you watch this on YouTube, you can also listen to it on Spotify. If you listen to it on Spotify, you can also watch it on YouTube at The Fluffy Biscuits on both. I have been Zach at Pixelated Trash here on YouTube, and I am joined, of course, by Jacob, as he is off gone into the void. You can find him at NazirTL on everything, and you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at The Fluffy Biscuits, except the Twitter is The Fluffy Biscuits, because the original was taken. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Zach,
Bye!
I'm lost.